So obviously, this did not go the way that we wanted it to, in the worst way possible. I think we had some great successes with the White Dudes for Harris group, but really it was just the beginning, and I don't think it's worth really resting on our laurels too much because we lost. So I think I would love to hear from everybody sort of like how we move forward, especially I think with the Democratic Party in general, but the White Dudes too, because we did tap into something, and it was really just the beginning of the work. And I would love to just hear from everybody and where you think we should kind of go from here. And I'm going to go to Mike first. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure. I have a bunch of thoughts. I'm glad to hear you still have laurels, Tim, because I'm not sure that I do. So I'm not sure I can spell laurel. So I have just a smattering of ideas of where to go from here. Obviously, I'm really sad. I'm more angry, probably than anything about what happened on Tuesday. The very first thing we need to do is we need to question every single assumption that we have in the Democratic Party. And we need to question the way that we run our campaigns. We need to question the strategies that we employ, the way we communicate with people. And I would liken this moment to, I forget which year it was, but there was a year when Lorne Michaels fired every single cast member at SNL except for Eddie Murphy. If you're working in Democratic politics right now, you better be able to articulate why you're Eddie Murphy, because losing to Donald Trump again suggests to me that we need to make some changes. And I'm not targeting anybody specifically right now because I don't really know who is. I don't know if I'm Eddie Murphy right now. Maybe I should just go get a real job. That's the number one thing, because the way we're running these campaigns isn't working. The way we're communicating with people isn't working. The second thing is we need to take a good hard look about why people dislike us so much. I'm really tired of hearing about the unique appeal that Donald Trump has. I'm really tired of hearing about his special magic. He ran a horrible campaign. He's not a great person. And I don't think he has special sauce. I think that people don't like us and people don't trust us. And you can date some of that trust issues to undelivered promises from the Obama administration, the Clinton administration going back. You can date some of that to the Monica Lewinsky stuff with Bill Clinton. I think you can trace that back to, honestly, what happened over the summer with Joe Biden and his health. I think we need to probably own up to that and the way that this played out, because it was less than ideal. And not to mention the fact that, God love Joe Biden. I love him. I think he's a good president, and I think he's going to get a bad rap after what happened this week. But he promised to be a generational figure. He promised to step aside, and he didn't, and give us an opportunity to pick the future of the party. That didn't happen, and I think that was a mistake. I understand why he didn't do it, but it was a mistake. And then the third thing is really wrestling with how we talk about our policies, and that starts with the economy and creating opportunity and freedom of opportunity for everybody to retire with dignity and buy a house and start a family, and having the freedom to do that, and how we talk to people who don't believe that we have their best interests at heart right now. And I'm thinking about young people who are like, God, how do I buy a house? How do I get a spouse? How do I start a family? Like, they don't have answers for that, and we're not providing them a blueprint for that. And I'm thinking about people that are close to retirement that don't trust us. Like, I'm thinking about all the votes we lost in the Hispanic community and why they don't trust us, and that's probably economic and cultural. There are changes that need to be made in the Democratic Party. And I'm not suggesting we throw anybody off of the ship. So I want to be clear when I say these things. Like, our values shouldn't change. The people we're fighting for shouldn't change. But a lot of other things have to change, because if you look at the results of this election, the people of Arizona passed a ballot initiative to protect abortion rights, but didn't vote for Kamala Harris. People of Montana did the same. They didn't vote for John Tester. Missouri voted for a $15 minimum wage, but I love Lucas, but he didn't do very well in that election, right? There's all kinds of opportunities where our policies and the direction we want to take this country are succeeding, but our candidates are not. And I would attribute a good chunk of that to people being pretty mad at the Biden administration and Kamala Harris having to pay for the sins of that. That's the risk of being a VP, but those are the places that I would start.